Hello everyone. I think it says that we are live. Not certain. We'll find out in a moment. We will find out in one moment once I see people start chatting. Hello out there. Hello everyone. Let's see if it says we're live on my phone. Let's see. Oh, we are. Okay. Hello Beverly. Hello Jen. Hello everyone. Hi, Penny. Hi, Jen. I've been good, Jen. How have you been? Hello, everyone. My drink is sweating. I need to figure out. I don't know where I put my paper towels. All right. So, since it seems like everybody is here or is joining in slowly but surely, today I'm going to show you a really cool stencil technique on a stencil that I have personally wanted for a very, very long time. So, I finally designed it and I said, okay, this is the stencil. This is it. I am super, super excited about it, and I hope you're excited about it too. So let's head down to the table. Hello, Candy. Let's head down to the table, and I will show you what that stencil is. So for a very, very long time, I have wanted a potion stencil. And I've wanted, oh, this is in the way. I've wanted a potion stencil, and look, all the sweat from my drink. I've wanted a potion stencil. And I didn't want just any potion stencil. I wanted a potion stencil that would afford me a lot of different types of potions that I could use, and also a potion stencil that would allow me to fill the potions. So I'm thinking that this will hopefully make sense to all of you as I go through this technique. Hello, Ashley. Ashley's right next door. So I'm really excited to share with you kind of a cool technique for the stencil, but then I'm just going to show you like a regular way to use the stencil. But the whole reason that I was going to use the stencil for all of you and show you this technique today was to use it with the Tim Holtz pencils. Now, these are very popular and they sold out. So we have more on the way. But since they sold out, unfortunately, this technique that I'm going to tell you, unless you purchase them, well, I guess you could use you could really use any type of watercolor pencil to do this technique. But these just happen to be completely sold out at this point. So these are all gone. All gone, but we have ordered more. I thought that 3 cases would be enough, but I guess it was not. It certainly was not. So I'm just going to tape this onto my stencil here, and or onto my piece of paper here to kind of show you the way to kind of start this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of the pencils from the set, and the colors I'm going to use today, the first one is going to be this is Villainous Potion, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm outlining. It's very simple. I'm just outlining the potion bottle, okay? So you're just going to go in with your colored pencil. This has to be a watercolor colored pencil, though. That is the one caveat. And then I'm going to go in with Salty Ocean. And again, you can do this with whatever colors you believe you want your potion bottles to be, because there's not a wrong way to do a potion bottle. Now, of course, this is going to look like much now, but just stick with me. Then we'll do Picked Raspberry for the next one, for our next potion bottle. And again, all you're doing is just tracing. That's all you have to do is trace around the outside of your potion bottles, okay? And then last but not least, I think I love this color as well. So this one is Salvaged Patina. And again, all we're doing is just tracing around our stencil. I promise you this is going to look really cool. So that's all we did. We just traced around it, okay? And then you can lift your stencil off, shake off the excess, and it's not going to look, I mean, it looks like potion bottles, right? I mean, it's what it's intended to be. But the magic happens when we add a little bit of water to it. So let me close this puppy up. And I promise we're getting more of these. I promise. We've gotten so many emails. I didn't think they would. I mean, I knew they would go, but I didn't think they were going to go nearly as quickly as they did. I mean, they were gone within the day that we launched them. So now I'm going to grab my water brush, and we are going to, I'm sure that you probably guessed it, we are going to fill this in. So this is going to make it really look like a potion bottle, okay? So we're going to fill this in, and all we're going to do, and most of you have watercolored with me before, you're just going to grab the color and you're just going to blend it in. So you're just going to blend it in, and you are going to get the coolest looking, creepy potion bottles for your cards. And that natural outline that we have from the pencil is going to create almost a natural shadow. And when these dry, which we're going to help them along with our little heat tool, when these dry, they look so cool. So cool. So we're going to go over to the next one, and I'm not too concerned. I'm going to turn this because I don't want to get, things mixed together. I'm not concerned with the colors mixing, but as you can see, you can pull that color and you already have a guideline, right? So we're pretending that the outside of this potion bottle is the darker portion, which would make sense. And then we're just adding our color in, and look at how cool that's starting to look. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. I hope you all think it's cool too. All right, so then next, we'll do our next one. And again, you're just grabbing that color, and I mean, I'm sure that you all have seen beautiful ephemera in different pieces where you see this color that starts on the outside and moves its way in. This is exactly how it's done, but now you can do it. And I'm sure you have so many stencils that you're thinking of now that, wow, that would be really cool with that technique. See how cool these are all starting to look? Yes, this I should have mentioned. Thank you, Penny. This potion bottle stencil just launched today. It just launched this afternoon. And all we're doing is we're just adding our color. And you can be as heavy-handed or light-handed as you would like. If you want to come back, you can go, pencil to brush and add more color if you would like. I just like the very muted kind of pastels that we're getting here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my heat tool, move my chair out of the way, plug it in, because always unplug, always unplug your heat tool. And we're just going to heat this up, because the next technique, this really should be fully dry before you do the next technique, but we're gonna try it anyway. But these will dry pretty quickly because we didn't use a ton of water. Isn't this cool? My favorite part is that you can fill it in. And I've made it very, very simple with the design to fill it in. And as you can imagine, you could add, a piece of cardstock on the bottom to make it look like it is on a shelf. We do have wood grain cardstock you could use. All right, so now, look at how cool those look. Isn't that cool? I think it's super cool. So that's just like kind of the background, right? And then the way this stencil works, I'm hoping you can see that. See how that's etched in there? So now all you have to do to line up the potion to go inside, and we're gonna do our potion with some Deco Foil. This is like the kind of quick and easy way to do the Deco Foil. So you just line it up. Now this is it's a little bit more difficult to line it up this time because I don't have those crisp edges like you would have, you know, when you would normally do this technique with, and I'm going to show you what they look like blended too. Don't worry. I'm going to use, I have a big tag here to show you. So you just place that right on top, and I'm going to protect this area here with a piece of tape. And then you're going to grab yourself some of the Ultra Bond adhesive. We carry this at Brutus Monroe. I'm sure many of you have this. I can almost guarantee that many of you have it. And you're going to grab a blending tool. Make sure that you designate whatever blending tool base or tip, because this just unvelcros. Whatever blending tool base that you're using, that is what you want to continue to always use for this technique. And then we're just going to add a little bit of glue. And I'm sure that this technique would work with other glues. The Ultra Bond has worked really, really well for me. And then we're just going to pitter patter and make sure we have good coverage. Okay. Make sure you have good glue coverage. And you'll be able to tell that you've got it on there good because it'll start to kind of get sticky on you. I hope that makes sense. All right, and then we can lift this off. And again, this might still be a little bit wet, so this might not work perfectly, but we're certainly going to give it a try. And then we will add our adhesive, or excuse me, our transfer sheet on top. We're just going to really smooth that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Once this has been given a little bit of time to dry and you're not, you know, doing it like I'm doing it live, because obviously when you do something like this live, you're not necessarily taking your time. Love your technique. So delicate. I make a blob of a mess with stenciling. Yes. There is nothing there. I never claim to be a dainty flower. That is for certain. I never I never claimed that the technique was dainty. That is for certain. It is not a dainty technique. All right, and it looks like seems like this is, let's see, do I have I don't know where my scissors went. The thing that's crazy is we sell scissors here, and I can't find a scissors. So I'm gonna grab my glass mat and place it over here so that I can. Just gonna place it here for 1 second so that I can cut this, because my rotary blade really needs. Oh wait, the blade does need tightened. Thank you, Penny. You are so right. It needed tightened. Oh, it cuts like a dream now when you tighten your blade. Thank you, Penny, for noticing that. Yep, it needed tightened. It's so funny, the minute that you said that, I looked at it and was like, something doesn't seem right. Okay. So now we're going to run this through the die cutting machine very quickly. Well, technically you would have to wait for it to dry under normal circumstances, but because we're doing this, because we did that padding technique, the padding technique is kind of what makes it almost dry enough like instantly. It's very straight. It's hard to explain, but it almost makes it instantaneously. It almost makes it work. Does that make sense? I know that sounds weird, but you don't have to wait for it to dry completely because it almost dries on its own when you're doing that kind of patting and pouncing technique. Okay. All right. So now we're ready for the reveal. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. And now look at those potions that are inside. I mean, could you imagine getting a card like this that has those potions inside? I mean, I love it. I think it's incredible. Look at how cool those potions inside of these. Isn't that awesome? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to blend more of them. So let's switch gears. I'm going to grab one of, and this is my favorite, honestly, my favorite thing to use whenever I'm doing like technique things to like look at stencils. I grab one of the Brutus Renault Jumbo Media Tags. Let me zoom out. Jumbo Media Tags, because this is like the best thing ever in my opinion to kind of practice on, I guess you could say. So we should be able to get, yep, we'll be able to get on this particular tag, we'll be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm not going to clean my stencil. I know that's going to make some of you very nervous, but it's not a big deal because it's going to, I mean, if we get some variations of color, whoopsies, let me move this down a little bit. If we get some variations of color, that's a win for me. I love variations of different colors, and especially when you're doing a bottle, right? Can I bring it up to the camera? Yes, I sure can. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when you just blend it, okay? So when you just blend it, it's going to be a little bit different. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to do this with I guess like we could do like a light blue. Okay, we'll do a light blue here. And we're going to protect the rest of this area too. I mean, why not? We all have so much washi tape laying around, right? Why not use it for this? Okay, so now we're just going to take, I'm using the Clear Skies ink. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to blend. And this is going to give us that really cool shading look. So the first technique that I showed you is how you're able to create these by just doing a quick and easy little marking up with the pencils. But this is going to actually give you a full coverage potion bottle, if that's a thing. And you don't have to be precise with this because it's, you know, potion bottles, at least the ones that I've seen on TV and in the movies and in real life, they have a variation of color, right? So they're not, you don't have to make them perfect. Now, those blended pretty well because it blends, you know, this blends really, really well on these tags because they're made for blending and coloring and things of that nature. So let's pull this off. And then we can, so there's our bottles. Bottles are done. All done. And now what I'm going to do for this technique is we're going to go back in on top of the bottles. We're going to use our magical shattered glass to make them look like bottles. Okay, so we're going to go back on top of this. I should have just kept it down, but for some reason, well, actually, no. That is what we want to do. So let's add some potion to these bottles, okay? And then we'll do the magical shattered glass on top. I knew I had a reason for pulling that up. So now you'll see this will fit absolutely perfectly without a problem on top, because these are, I didn't do like that watercolor technique. So I can zoom in a little bit because I know that's going to probably be a question, as if I can zoom in, and I sure can. Let me just protect my area here. Okay. And I think for this next one, I think a good potion color will be purple. Let's just hope that I have they do. So we'll do triple berry for the actual potion color. And now all you have to do is just blend. And you can do this, I mean, super, super sporadically. Now imagine, you know, Brutus Monroe has an incredible line of embossing powders. So you could do glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. You could do Raven Sparkle embossing powder. You could do the Scowleen embossing powder. You could do just white. I mean, the options are truly unlimited of what you could do in these spaces. Oh, they're sold out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had a feeling they were going to be gone. They are a very popular. They were an extremely popular item. All right, so now we're just going to peel this off. And then we're going to hit this with the heat tool as well, because we want to make sure it's good and dry before we add our glue to it. Okay, so now look at those potion bottles. Isn't that cool? I mean, literally, you don't even have to think. You don't even have to think. Hello, Darren. I'm just going to make sure this is good and dry, but how fun would this be for a card? I mean, I think it would be super fun. Or a scrapbook page, because that's why I did it in a slimline size. Well, our slimline is much larger than like what a normal slimline would be, but that's why I did it in the slimline size, because I wanted you to be able to use it in all different scenarios. So whether you're doing mixed media, whether you are creating a card, whether you're creating a scrapbook page, you can do it all. All right, so unplug my heat gun, safety first. Pop our bottles back on top, and this is when the magic is going to happen. All right, a little bit more tape. Did you get the kids' Easter card? I believe I did, Christina. Thank you. I think I was a little caught off guard because it was Easter, but I believe I did get it. I think it's sitting on my desk. I haven't. I think there was like something, or no. Heather opened hers. Mine is. I'm a little backed up on mail. I so love when everybody sends me things. I love it so much, but it takes me a little while to go through everything. So, but I will open it. I certainly will. Okay. So we're going to do our glue technique again. Again, all you're going to do, it's very technical. You just splat out your glue, okay, like that. And then you're going to add, you're just going to pounce up and down until you get that glue in there. All right. And then you're just going to pounce right on top of your bottles. I promise you, trust the technique. It's going to seem weird. It's going to seem like, what are you doing? We just did all this beautiful blending. Why the heck are you putting glue all over it? I promise you, it's going to work out. So we're going to go in, add some more. And do you hear that? Can you hear that? Do you hear that? How it's like kind of pulling up? That means it's ready. If you hear that stickiness, that kind of grab back, that means it's ready. All right, so I probably have ink all over my hands, so this could get messy very quickly, but I'm hoping that we can salvage it with my inky hands. All right, so now we're going to use the magical shattered glass transfer sheets. And we are going to utilize these because this is going to make our bottles. You'll see. I don't want to give it away because I want you to see it kind of as it's happening. So I'm actually just going to chop this right up this way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but we're going to certainly try. Yep, we did it. All right. So now we're going to need one more piece that goes right here. And again, we're just going to zhuzh that on there. We're going to send it through the die cutting machine. If you let it dry a little bit longer, the postman came. Bye. Oh, that's great. Well, there you go. I love it. All right, so we're just going to send this through the die cutting machine. And again, by sending it through the die cutting machine, we're just applying pressure. That's all we're doing. It's not, there's not a secret to this. We're just applying pressure to it. And that pressure is what is going to help that along. Okay. Yes, it just has to be tacky. So if you use some other type of, like you could actually use, I've shown you this before. It's in an older video, but I've shown you how you can actually go in and use pixie spray for a technique like this. I don't know if any of you remember that. That was many moons ago. So ready? Okay, there's our first one. It's not going to look like much yet, but just wait. I promise you, it worked. Okay, are you ready? This is so cool. Imagine you receive a card like this. Whew. It almost looks like nothing until you start moving it around. Isn't that incredible? I'll show you it from afar too. So it's so cool. So cool. So that's all that I have for you this afternoon. Yeah, I'm really excited about this new stencil. I'm excited about that technique. I think it's really fun. Hopefully we will have those back in stock. We have to get a couple more cases of it because it's a very unique. Imagine doing frosted windows with this. I mean, could you imagine? So that's it. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. I'll see y'all soon. Well, I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate you all so much for hanging out with me today. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun stenciling. So remember to create something does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions about this technique before I go? I always forget. And then I get a whole bunch of messages saying, what the heck? You didn't ask if we had any questions. Snow globes would be beautiful. Yes. It has. It's been here the whole time. Okay. Well, if there aren't any questions, I will let you all go. And the glue that I used is we sell this at Bruce Renault. It is the Ultra Bond from ThermoWeb Deco Foil. Ultra Bond. Yep, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Oh, and make sure to check out BrutusRenault.com in the new category. If you are a fan of Elf, the movie, or A Christmas Story, which is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, A Christmas Story, Elf, or Polar Express, I have a feeling that there's several of you that probably love Polar Express just like I do. We have products from, I think it's Paper House. If you take a look at the news section at BrutusRenault.com, we have paper, we have scrapbook paper, we have stickers, we have ugly sweater stickers that are so cool. So take a look because there's a lot of really cool products. I want to say there's like Elf die cuts, there's Elf stickers, there's a lot of really cool stuff. So take a look on the website. I think you're really going to enjoy those products. I know I did when I was looking at them. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see y'all soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to create something every single day, whether that is your own mystical potion bottles or your own ending. I love you all very much, and I'll see you